Good morning, Charlotte. How are you?
Good. How are you doing?
I'm good. Thank you so much for agreeing to do this. As you know, I am Samantha. I'm on the steering committee with the Brighton Business Builders, and we are doing a Zoom interview series for our member presentations. This is an opportunity for you to talk a little bit about your business and to share what you're going to be talking about and invite people from within our community to come in and hang out with us on Thursday mornings when we meet at the Masons Lodge. So we do attract quite a bit of business owners into our group. You do have to be a member of the Brighton Chamber, but we invite people to come and hang out with us twice and see if it would be worth their time, which most people decide that it absolutely is. And I think these member presentations is one of the reasons why it's so valuable, because not only do you get to share a little bit about your business, but also educate each other. And I think that was what brings value to me. So anyway, I want to invite you to tell us a little bit about your story, what led you to do what you're doing now, what makes you passionate about it, and then we'll talk a little bit about your presentation after.
Perfect.
All right.
So,
Go ahead.
so for me, I had a career in telecom for almost 20 years, and I left to be a stay-at-home mom. And after my daughter started going back to school full time, I realized I was bored out of my mind and I had to reinvent myself. So I asked myself, what do I want to be when I grow up? And I wasn't sure, to be perfectly honest. It was a whole new ballpark for me, like being fresh out of high school. And so I went to the drawing board and said, what do I like to do? And one of the things that came up was I like to make people feel good about themselves. So I originally started at school for hair, did about a third of my program and realized this is not for me. I did love doing the makeup and the skin part of it. So I reassessed the situation and went back to school for aesthetics. As I did that, I fell in love with it. I was very lucky to get into a school that offered a ton of certifications in different realms in the industry that I could dabble in and learn more about before the state changed the way the law goes for our programs. So I was really excited. And since then, I've just been launching more and more and learning as much as I can. For me, education is key because in my industry, it's not something where you can just learn it and be done with it, and you don't have to touch that up. I'm constantly taking new trainings, probably once a quarter, if not more, to keep my skills sharp and to make sure that I know what's going on or what's trending in my industry. So I've been an esthetician since 2019 and I love it, and I keep adding to my skill set.
Yeah. 2019, gosh. And then you roll right into 2020, and many of us struggled big time with that. But I'm sure I know you and I know each other pretty well. So what are some of the most rewarding moments that you had? Because I know the last couple of years have been challenging, but you've done some amazing things with your business. What would you say is some of the most rewarding aspects of what you do?
I love everything I do. Some of them you see gradual results and some of them you see immediate results.
Mhm.
So being able to provide somebody an immediate result and just the satisfaction and awe that they feel or see.
Yeah.
A great example was I had two different women. So I'm going to give the two examples. One lady was around 80 years old, came to me. She's like, I haven't had brows in probably 20, 30 years. And so I do permanent makeup. So we did her brows. And after, she was almost in tears because she was like, you gave me the structure of my face back, and was like, I want to hug you. Can I hug you? Thank you so much. So for me, that was super gratifying to be able to restore that structure to somebody's face.
Mhm.
Another example was another lady who had never had brows. It just was something which is really common. People have alopecia or different conditions where the hair never really forms. So it's something that I'm able to do for those types of clients. So in this case, she had never really had brows. And so we built her some structural brows for her base based on her skeletal structure. And she loved them. And she went to lunch with her girlfriends to see, because they said, I'm scared of that. You do it. You're the guinea pig. We're going to let you do it. So I told her, how did it go after your lunch? And she goes, nobody even noticed it. She goes, they look so natural to my face. Nobody even identified it until I asked them about it.
Wow.
So those are a couple of examples where it's instant gratification. But again, it was overwhelming because just that simple procedure was able to give somebody that self-esteem or that confidence back in their appearance.
Absolutely. And so I know you offer permanent makeup, like you just said, but I don't think everyone realizes what it is. And I know that there's people in the Brighton area and surrounding that would probably be excited to come and check out what you offer with the permanent makeup. But can you explain what that really is so that people understand?
Yes. So permanent makeup is a form of cosmetic tattooing. And so sometimes in my industry, you'll hear the term temporary. And I want to stifle that right now. It is not temporary, it is permanent makeup. So even though it may fade, it never goes away. So with women mainly, and it does happen a lot with men too. So let me restate that. As we age, sometimes our hair depreciates. So it goes away, it falls out. Maybe we overplucked, maybe we overtweezed, waxed too much, or maybe it's just health conditions that causes the hair growth to no longer be there. So if you think about it, our brows are the main structure of our face. So if we lose that, that's debilitating for one's image, right? So as women, we have products available to us to pencil in our brows, but who wants to do that every day? So I'm able to build that and give the illusion of full brows that look natural to your face. So as you age, it grows with your face. Another thing that happens as we age is that our lips look like they get smaller, but really that doesn't happen. So when you look at somebody and they're older and you're like, oh, they have the tiniest little lips. It's not that at all. What happens is our color on our lips, it's called our vermilion border, it starts to fade. So just the color fades, but the size of our lip never actually changes. So by me being able to go in and do permanent makeup, a lip blush, I can restore color back to the lip. And that can bring anywhere from 10 to 20 years back of life to your face.
Mm.
A lot of people also are allergic to makeup. So they have different sensitivities to products. And so they want to wear makeup and they want to look put together or they want to sport these images, but they're not able to because they literally can't. And so by doing lash line enhancement, I give them the illusion of eyeliner without makeup, allowing them that opportunity to look put together without having an allergic reaction. So
Awesome.
that's what permanent makeup can do for you and why it can be such a valuable thing for different people and their different whys.
Awesome. I love that. That's really good. What about eyeliner? Do you do anything with that? I know there's some permanent makeup that's a problem for me. I'm just saying.
Absolutely. So I do lash line enhancement at this time, which is right in the lash line to give the illusion of a full natural lash. I hate to wear mascara.
Mm.
So to me, that helps give that illusion of that full lash without mascara. I do have training set up to do eyeliner. So as soon as that's available, I will let you know.
Let
But
me know.
again,
It could be subtle. I don't need it to be the big fancy I'm going out on the town, just daytime liner.
and that's the nice thing about permanent makeup. I do it natural to you. You can always go over it with makeup and enhance it to be a more of a wow effect.
Yeah, I love that. All right, so I don't want to ruin anything about your upcoming presentation. I know that you said you're going to be offering two different things in your 20-minute presentation. Do you want to tease a little bit and tell us a little bit what we can expect from, let's say, part one?
Part one. It's winter time. So my question to you is, are you taking advantage of this time to do the different skin rejuvenations that are available at this time? Again, what does that mean? And are you taking advantage of it? Because winter is the ideal time to do these services. So if you're not doing it, I definitely recommend that you reach out to me so that I can tell you what that is and we can build a plan out for you.
Yeah, I have questions, so I'm looking forward to this. I'm not going to ask them now because then I feel like it might ruin the surprise and the intrigue a little bit. And I don't want to do that. People need to come and hear your talk. I've heard you talk a little bit about this in the past, and you really know your stuff. And so I'm sure that people are going to come and feel like they learned something important. Men, women, it doesn't matter. Like our skin, we all have skin, and it's the biggest organ in our body, and it's very important we take care of it. And I don't. So this will be good. All right, so then tease us a little tiny bit on part two. What can we expect I love that how ambitious you are that you've got two parts to this too. So what's part two?
Client safety and record management. Again, understanding where you start and how you progress and how the skin responds is key, because if you're not properly documenting what you're doing, then you run risk for your clients, and that's not safe for anybody. The goal is to get the skin to restore to what image you're looking for with the skin, or to get to the skin to a level that you want when you see yourself in the mirror. And if you don't do it properly and you don't keep the proper records on your progression, then you can actually damage somebody's skin and make it worse. So again, managing your records and how you do these things and keeping sterile things and non-expired things and lot numbers and all those records is very key. It's almost borderline medical what you need to do to progress with treatments. And so that's what I'm going to be touching on. Again, I always put my client's safety first.
Yeah. And I think that's what makes you unique. I'm not saying that no one else does that, but I do know that based on other businesses that I've worked on in marketing and stuff, you're the first person that I've in that field that I've talked to that has talked at all about the importance of keeping track of what you're doing each time. I'm not saying they don't do that. I'm just saying I've never heard anyone talk about it, and I ask a lot of questions. So I do think that's what makes you unique. So I'm excited about your presentation, which will not be this Thursday. It is next Thursday, January 25th. So yay, thank you for sharing that. And well done in the teasing portion of it. Just saying, I'm not good at that. I'm like, let me just tell you all of it now, and then you should come and watch. Doesn't make any sense. So tell me a little bit about how being a part of BBB has helped you and or your business just grow, and like, what do you enjoy most about being a part of this group?
I love the relationships that are built. Be full disclosure, when I first signed up for BBB a couple years ago, I just didn't lean into it, and I didn't get anything from it either. So when I joined the second time around, or re-registered, or whatever you want to call it, right? Really leaned into it. And from there, I've learned different things. Business has a different level of what they're involved in, what they do, how they do it, what they need to run their business, and so forth and so on. And everybody's business is at different levels. So it's nice to be able to talk with somebody, and maybe their experience is something that you didn't know that you needed for your business. So just being able to bounce that off of other business owners is so vital. Thing that I've really leaned into is I've built really healthy relationships. For me, when I ask somebody sincerely, how are you doing? I mean that.
Yeah.
And so when somebody tells me something, I go back and ask them, hey, a week later, how is your mom doing? Hey, your in-laws were in from out of town, right? Did you survive that? Different things like that. So by building that relationship, it really built on that like trust, because then people started to go, well, I feel comfortable with this person. They do really listen to me. So maybe I can ask them questions.
Yeah.
And then from there, it's evolved. And by doing that, I've had clients grow out of that experience, or out of those experiences, because people feel comfortable enough to trust me and talk to me, and then they become a client. And then once somebody comes in, typically, and again, not trying to toot my own horn or anything of that nature, right? But typically when somebody feels that trust with me, it's a reoccurring client, because they feel comfortable, and then they transition typically from one service to two service, or hey, tell me more about this, or hey, I know somebody that I can refer to you. So
Yeah.
it just becomes a revolving door, in which I'm really grateful for. So
I love it. Yeah, BBB is definitely good for helping us build those connections and grow in the relationship piece of things for sure. How can people get in touch with you? Where are you on social media? Where, like, the best way to contact you? Share that, and we'll be sure to put it in the captions as well.
okay, so I do have a Facebook page. It's Devine Beauty and Style. I try and post information, our upcoming events, education as I'm able to. I do have an Instagram as well. It's Devine Beauty and Style. I also have a TikTok, which I'm working on, so no judgment.
Or judgment. No, don't look at mine.
Uh, but I am located in Brighton off of 29th and Main Street. in the plaza with Kismet Stars. And so if you just go down there, I am by appointment only, but I'd love for you to stop by when I don't have a client in session. I am also in the Westminster Broomfield area in the Chateau and Salon Revive.
Love it. I love it. Okay, wonderful. Before we wrap up, I save this question for the end, and I never warn you that I'm going to do it. But what words of wisdom do you have for your fellow entrepreneurs that are watching this video today?
Don't give up.
That's a good
It's
one.
scary. It's scary. It's hard. I will tell you, I work harder than I ever did in corporate America, but I love it. You're gonna have days when you have a win, and you're gonna have a day where you hit rock bottom. That's okay. That's par for the course. Just keep trucking. The more you learn, the better you're gonna get, and the better it's gonna grow. You're only as good as what you put into it. So if you think you can put an hour or two here and an hour or two here, that's not going to work. You need to be all in. It's a true commitment. But once you get to that point, it's so rewarding. And once you start seeing the success, it's worth every moment of your time. So that's my words of wisdom.
I love it. Thank you so, so much. Again, Samantha with More Than Serendipity Visual Marketing. I help businesses show up online, and I know, shocker, I do social media for the Brighton Business Builders. So we starting this series, and Charlotte was our second one, but I hope that you will tune in for the rest. If you're in the Brighton area and you want to come visit us, we meet Thursday mornings, 7:30 a.m., almost every Thursday morning now. So check out our website at brightonbusinessbuilders.org if you want to learn more. And you can also see our schedule and all the fun stuff on there. We look forward to seeing you. Thanks so much again for tuning in. And don't forget, if you're on YouTube, to subscribe to this lovely channel so you can see the next one.